the complaint with a lot of people on those talking head shows is the schedule that the Cowboys have played. And you can say the same thing about San Francisco. Look, they're not apologizing for their victories also. 4-0, who cares? We play who the schedule says we're going to play. That's all you can do. But just to exercise those demons of the last two playoff games, and I know they aren't as significant as what's going on Sunday night, but, man, if you want to say you are a championship caliber team, you have to go out there and put up a very good fight against a good San Francisco team.
I agree. And this is the type of game that I think changes fan base opinion. I think it puts the NFL on notice depending on how you handle your business on the road against a team that the last two times we've seen them was better than you. But I do think, and it's interesting to me, and we were talking about this in our pre-show, I think there's this idea that San Francisco is just dominant over Dallas and that they just own Dallas and we're not anywhere near as good as they are. And I don't know where that comes from, because the last time that we saw these two teams play in the divisional round last year, even talking to some of my friends, there seems to be a memory that they just drug us up and down the field. We couldn't stop their run. They gashed us over and over again. That's not what happened. And we all had forgotten that this game was tied at 9 late in the third quarter in San Francisco, and then they put together a 10-play, 91-yard drive.
Yeah, they scored pretty early in the fourth,
right,
to make it seem like it was. I mean,
very early in the fourth,
right.
And this is a game. The Dallas defense held McCaffrey to 35 yards on 10 carries, and 28 of those 35 yards came on that final drive. And of course, there is the big play to Kittle with the Diggs missed tackle whiff that was huge on that. And then what really jumps out to you is this was a game the Cowboys very much so had a chance to win. It was not a blowout. It was a back-and-forth close battle. The defense played very, very good football, but Dak had the 2 interceptions.
And the one close to halftime to CD was the one I think was I don't want to say a backbreaker, because, again, they weren't just blowing them out. But if you can go into halftime with the lead, maybe things are different. It's 9-6 because the 49ers kicked a field goal at the buzzer of halftime to go up 3 points at half. And then the Cowboys got the ball, kicked another field goal, and you're right. It's 9-9 going into the end of the third quarter. So it wasn't
a close game.
But the only thing we remember out of that game is the interception from Dak, the missed tackle from Diggs, and Zeke's last play of his Dallas Cowboy career.
That's all we remember.
The only thing that will stick out in your head.
And for whatever reason, there's this idea that it was some blowout and San Francisco dominated them. Keep in mind, by the way, the 35 yards for McCaffrey, the week before against Seattle, he had 15 carries for like 119 yards. So this wasn't hobbled up, and he dealt with injuries last year. I mean, he was literally the week before against Seattle, they put up 41 points, blew them off the field. That was a blowout. The Dallas defense did their part. The offense didn't, and part of that was because of the turnovers. And so when we look at this and we talk about this offense this year and how it's kind of boring and it's kind of conservative, well, if they're not going to turn the ball over and they're going to win 19-12 instead of lose 19-12 because you don't have those 2 interceptions, are we not all signing up for that immediately?
I also feel, not even going back to watch that game, just us kind of talking about it earlier before the show started, how they had a lot of inopportune penalties in that game. And when you look at it, it didn't seem like they had 7 penalties for 50 yards. But I almost felt like, and maybe we need to watch that game again before this week is over to really go back and comb over it. Because, yeah, on the surface you feel, San Francisco was just a better team. But Dallas did have their opportunities. And it almost feels like Dallas and San Francisco have passed. Now, they had a lot riding on those games in NFC championship games, and these are just divisional round playoff games. But you get in the feel of, all right, we know that these guys are who we're going to have to go through if we're going to have playoff success. If we want to do what we want to do this season, San Francisco, we're going to have to slay. Philadelphia, we're going to have to slay, and we're going to have to make sure that we are the most dominant team in the NFC by going through those guys. And this is just a little small stepping stone of, okay, where are we? Because we feel the defense is right there and ready and capable.
Yeah.
Throw the first half out against Arizona, and this defense has been lights out this entire year. And now it's going to be, okay, can you keep that going? And can this offense against San Francisco's really good defense get to 20, 21, 24? And you hesitate a bit because of their red zone ineptitude. But if they can turn that around and get the running game going, maybe they can. So don't turn the ball over. And I would take the most boring game in the world
easily
against San Francisco if that means you are not giving them a short field and you're not putting yourself in peril by committing dumb penalties and dumb turnovers.
Right. And look,
that I don't think anyone should care if that's the case.
No, not at all. Just go to San Francisco on the road and get a win. And you look at that, 5 of 15 on third down last year in the playoff game. Well, the Cowboys lead the NFL in third down conversions right now, over 51%. Best in the NFL. And that's why they're sustaining some of these drives. And we just had Joe Trahan on, and he brought up that stat that we talked about yesterday. They lead the NFL in drives of 10 players or more. They've had 16. That is best in the NFL. This is a team that can move the football. And if you can do that and you can keep it away from the San Francisco offense, and I'm very curious to see the Cowboys defense against this San Francisco offense that has scored a minimum of 30 points in all 4 of their games. Kyle Shanahan, that a lot of people think, if he's not the best play caller in the NFL, he's certainly the second best, way up there with the guy who just understands offense and how it all seems to be clicking. And they've got speed. They've got the ability to disguise different things and score and explode with different players. It's a fascinating matchup, man, because I really do believe that Dallas is right there neck and neck with San Francisco.
And you know this matchup is huge because it's almost like we put the New England game to bed, and we're already focused in on San Francisco.
Well, because 38 New England's no good. Well, San Francisco is. Francisco is. They might be the best team in the NFL right now, a month in. They're undefeated, and I know we look at, well, they haven't played anybody, granted, but they've pretty much manhandled everybody they played, and the one team that was a game was the Rams, and the Rams, I don't know if you've been paying attention, are a lot better than they were last year.
Divisional matchup,
right.
And you kind of wonder
and
if
I believe that was a road game, too, for them.
It was. They were
right.
on the road. First 2 games on the road, at Pittsburgh, at the Rams, and then they had New York and Arizona and then Dallas at home. So this is their 3rd game in a row at home.
I mean, there's only 2 undefeated teams in the NFL. One's the Eagles, one's the Niners. So you got an opportunity to really show that, yes, you are a team that needs to be reckoned with, and that the Arizona loss was the low point of the season, and that you can go on the road, because we kind of all think they're going to have to do that in the playoffs, and beat I think a team that a lot of us would say is a superior team to you right now.
Get an inside look at Hollywood with Michael Rosenbaum.
Let's get inside of Anthony LaPaglia. My grandmother will be 95 in June. I haven't drank water in 95 years. Look at me. Do I need water? You look a little dehydrated.
A little bit. Your skin's a little dry. And when I do drink, it bores me.
Yeah.
Just drinking it, I start to nod off.
Inside of You with Michael Rosenbaum, wherever you listen.
Hey.
How are you?
Doing well.
How's your Swiftie nature going? Are you intrigued and enthralled with what's going on in the NFL? Are you in front of your television so you can get a glimpse of Taylor Swift?
I support Taylor Swift and all these people that – I get why people are annoyed with all the coverage of Taylor being at these games. It's like people who just want to watch the game, they want to watch the game. They don't want to get caught up in that drama that's on the side.
But they show crowd shots all the time.
I know, but they don't show the same people over and over again like they show her. So I get why people are annoyed. It doesn't annoy me. I don't mind it. Because I don't watch the, what is it, Chiefs games? Who
You're
does he
correct.
play for?
Chiefs,
Yeah.
yes.
So that's why it doesn't bug me. But also, it's like, and people who are getting mad about her showing enthusiasm, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Every other Chiefs fan's showing enthusiasm.
There are people in the crowd who are painting their faces and chest and all that go crazy during games. Why are they upset at Taylor?
She's supporting her man.
But it is, I get why people are worn out on there. It's too much talk about it. Jeez. The NFL, I guess it's good for them. It's maybe bringing people to the sport, but how many are going to stick around after they break up?
None. They'll all leave.
Well, all the
Swifties
ladies
will leave.
Yeah, because they showed the numbers. as far as females watching the game.
Oh, really? Have the
And-
numbers been good?
It's amazing. It's like a 50% jump in certain demos.
18 to 24 is like 30%. 35 up is up like 40%. Just watching
That
the
is
game.
crazy.
They
Yeah.
showed her 17 times on the coverage Sunday
Is that
night.
it?
And that is them playing to their audience.
It's great. That's 4 times a quarter. So if you're watching it, you get a little fix if you're a Swiftie.
But the only thing I didn't understand was the jump in ticket prices at the stadium because she was going to be there. Like, that's what I don't get.
So people are going to the game to see her.
They marked it up like double the ticket price on the secondary market because she was there. And I don't know if people paid for them, but
Isn't it cheaper just to see her in concert, or are those prices even higher than the jacked up
I would love.
Chiefs
Oh
prices?
yeah, you went.
Yeah.
How much of a pretty penny did that cost?
Well, we had good seats. So where we sat, I think it was roughly $350, $375 a ticket.
Cheaper to get in the NFL game.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
$152 was the cheapest price for the Jets game.
But we weren't on the field or anything. We were probably 30 rows up in the lower bowl at Nissan Stadium in Nashville. But the seats were fantastic. So
But if you're
$375.
a Taylor Swift fan, paying that extra money, if you can afford it, is worth it because you're going to see her sing. At the NFL game, what are you going to do? Just
Watch
look
her
up and
cheer,
cheer?
see what she has on. And
You're right.
I heard that the sales of the booty shorts she had on went up.
skyrocketed.
Yeah, because she had them on, and I
What
guess
booty shorts?
Well, she had on some blue jean shorts at the game.
Oh,
with
yeah.
a black top because you could
That the ladies
bet
like
in
to wear.
Vegas what color she was going to have on, and I think red was the favorite, but she had on a black shirt with the blue jean shorts.
I actually feel kind of bad for her that they show her so much. Like,
'cause it's not
can't
her
she
fault.
just have a relationship and she's?
No,
Do we all have to know about it?
Yes.
And,
I mean, she didn't have to bring Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively. That didn't help.
well, but if those are her friends and her friends happen to be famous,
That's very true.
my thought is she's paying for the suite, right? Oh, they're providing that because
Don't they-
instead of visiting stadium, like it's not in like it's in Kansas City.
I would imagine
So someone
she bought it.
has to pay for it. Is it
Is that-
Kelsey? Out of his because his check compared to hers is like petty cash. Yeah, you could just put that in the your own account. That's fine. I don't need it. I'm Taylor Swift.
so does she have to pick up every check when they go out?
You got
Because she makes more than he does, or is it like no, we each pay our own way? We don't
There's
pay
no
for the
way
other
they're
one
going
even.
Dutch.
I bet he paid the first couple of times, and now she's like, "Look, let me do something nice for you. I'll buy a suite. Your mom can come. It'll be great."
Whoa.
He signed a 4-year, $57 million contract.
Yeah, and she's worth $750 million.
She makes that in 2 days.
So this year he's making
not.
he's making $11.5 million this year.
And she made that last night.
She made that
Maybe
in
not last night.
1
but
hour of one concert.
That's the one thing I've never understood, though, as far as
You ever
have
been in a
these-
relationship with a person who made more than you? A lot more than you?
No,
Really?
no. The only
I
real
have.
job I've had is
That was every
started
relationship
hearing-
I've ever had.
How have you been in radio?
Never
and you
had
never
any
were with somebody
well,
who made more than
money
you.
growing up.
I've been with my wife ever since, and her climb up the corporate ladder was probably as
Man,
as long of a ladder as mine. So we were I
I
we were
find
not
it,
making a lot of money together for a long time. Struggling. We had to the apartment complex that we stayed in when we first got married. We had to make it seem like she didn't work. That's how, I guess, on the affordable rate those apartments are. So
Wait, you lied about your income
Us
so you could get
together
a decent rate?
was going to make too much money to stay at this apartment complex, and I promise you, us together was not even $40K. But we had to say, hey, she wasn't working in order for us to stay there. So we stayed there for about a year.
I find it weird when I dated somebody briefly that made way more money than I made. And I had a hard time with that because I felt like I was somehow taking their hard work that they had done in their life, and I was just walking into their life and just I didn't deserve it in a sense. And so I really had a hard time with that because we were the same age. And I just thought, man, like, I feel like you have succeeded and done something, and here I am still trying to achieve, and I'm just taking advantage of. And she said, no. Like, I just.
Now, is that an age thing or is it just a man thing? Because I would want my significant other, wife, girlfriend, or whatever, to make as much money as you possibly can.
Yeah, now.
And if it's more than me, I don't care. I don't think I would. Now, if it gets into the relationship and she's, having to, they set the check in front of me every time we go to the restaurant.
Yeah,
which
why
I
do they
think
still
should
do
stop
that?
that.
Why do they still do that?
100% stop that.
Where should they put it? Like just directly
Just right in the middle.
In the middle of the
right
table,
in the middle
yeah.
of the table.
Maybe
So
lean
whomever's
more
going
towards the woman's side.
And then when they walk off, we can establish. But if you put it right in front of me and I don't have the coin to pay for it, that makes you feel pretty
I'm good.
bad. Especially if it's a nice restaurant and you don't have the coin for it. I don't know. I think the younger we are, the more it would affect us if you dated someone that made way more money than you.
Well, when I was dating this person, I was in my mid-30s. We were both, it was either 34 or 35, the exact same age, both of us. And because I felt like I was still trying to get where I wanted to go in my radio career, and I just lived in a one-bedroom apartment and didn't, wasn't making a lot or whatever.
Cozy.
And I went to her house once, felt like I was driving into like the Highland Park area. And in my brain, I'm like, man, how can you have this? And she had
What kind of work did she do?
She was in some sort of medical sales or something. I mean, she did really well and was a boss of a bunch of people. And I don't know why, I just felt like
and the boss of you with that paycheck.
Yes, easily. And man, she really liked me, but I just could not get past. I feel like I'm stealing from you in a sense because I'm still working and I haven't gotten there yet. And you have, and it just struck me as I don't feel like
But
this
should
is
she
right.
feel that way if the roles were reversed? Should she feel like she's stealing from you?
No, and I shouldn't have felt that way. It's just that was my own mental block.
Right.
That's the male ego thing that will probably get a lot of dudes in trouble. For not wanting to get someone that is very successful. And maybe you're trying to find your way. And even if you're not, as long as you're working, then it's fine. She can make as much money as she wants.
And to me, it wasn't necessarily that it was because of her being a female. It was more so my own insecurities of I haven't achieved in my life, and I feel like I should.
You felt like you were spending someone else's money when
Yes.
you guys were
like
doing stuff.
Like I don't. It's not your fault that I chose this career path and that I don't make a lot of money, so I don't need you to buy me things. I can take care of myself. I don't feel it's somebody else's responsibility, if that makes sense. And I felt that way with her. And it just bothered me.
But there's no way she made you feel that way, though, right?
No. It was my own thing.
Oh, you gotta.
Yeah, you gotta
I don't
let
know.
that go.
I know, and a lot
know.
of people probably will affect the relationship that they have because of that mindset. They're not, and that's why when people argue and they bring some of those things up to the table when they're upset, and then all of a sudden you'll say, "Well, I was just upset. I said things I didn't mean." No. You meant it. It's just been bottled up the whole time, and now you want to bring it out because you're angry or whatever. But yeah, if you got rid of that, man, you'd be in this big luscious house somewhere, just chilling. And look at you now.
You'd have so much beer.
So much
I
beer.
would. It would be amazing, but
You ever had a buddy that you grew up together, you went to college, let's say, and then he got really wealthy, and then when you go out to dinner, it's like, hey, who picks up a check? We're going to alternate each time, or I mean, you're sitting on $1 billion over there.
Yeah, that. You know what? Those things, I don't feel badly about that at all.
I don't. Yeah,
I will if I'm going.
You
out
think
with
your
somebody,
friend should pay every time?
Sure. But no. I take that back. It's about the invitation. If I invited you out, hey man, let's go out, have some dinner, hang out. If I do that and initiate it, I will definitely make it a point to try and pay. Now, I'm not going to break your arm if you're reaching out for the bill to pay for it, but I definitely will. And I'm the one. I don't like the.
And you're not the jerk who he offers to pay for it, and you do the once. No, it's okay, I got it. And then, but you're counting on him to really fight for it. And then when he doesn't really fight for it, then you get pissed at him.
No, I don't do that.
Okay.
But the one thing I don't like, if we're in a group of people and we have to give like 3 or 4 different credit cards and split this, and I had this, I can't stand that. Look, I'll pay for it. You just give me the money back. Because
Even if you're the guy that just had the water.
fine.
Everybody else
I
had
don't care.
the
It's
filet,
I just can't stand.
but you're willing to pay.
I don't like the look of everyone pulling out cards and the waiter has to do this and do that. It's just too difficult.
I guess.
Like, look, I'll pay for it. Just send me the money. And if I say I got it, hey, man, I mean it. I'm not trying to put it out there to have someone say, no. I'll take it. No, if I tell you, hey, man, I've got it, I'm good. Then I've budgeted for it. We're fine. It doesn't hit me. But the whole, it's 4 credit cards who have to split this. And, I can't stand that.
Do you think
We're
Taylor
too grown
Swift
for that.
actually carries a credit card? Or is there someone on her team that's following her
I think she carries one.
that handles it?
Yeah, I think she carries one. Sure.
I bet you she doesn't.
I think they have to have some sort of independence as far as not just having everyone do everything for them. There are certain things, of course, they're going to have other people do for them. But I will bet you,
Like
even
what?
if I was that famous.
Wipe their rear?
No, they probably can do that themselves. That I'm pretty sure they don't care about.
See, I think she probably has a personal chef.
Oh, yeah.
And
Heck
that'd be
yeah.
amazing.
I would love to have that myself.
And a trainer and somebody who dresses you probably picks out your style.
All that is fine. But as far as carrying a credit card or maybe even once in a while driving, I will bet you they'd want to do that. Like, you're going to get driven around a ton, but every now and then you want to hop in the car and just do something. Like, I think it's just human nature to want to have some sort of independence, even if you're just uber wealthy. And that's when they get caught up, though, because they'll go somewhere. Oh, I just want to go to the mall. I want to feel like a person. And then they're swarmed. And that's why they have to have the security. And I get it. I understand. But there are just times where you just want to feel like a regular person, even though you know you're not.
I think that everybody would eventually move over into just having people do stuff for you. Yeah, for the most part. You want people to cook you decent meals. The whole laundry list that Matt went down.
Yeah.
That's fine.
You're going to want all that.
Yeah.
And you're going to want to drive when you want to, but I think that you would find those occasions start getting less and less when you get used to the convenience of having someone drive for you while you can do stuff in the back and scroll Instagram or whatever it is you want to do. You know, you don't want the stress of driving. And I bet you that all those little areas that you had cordoned off for yourself that you were going to maintain your own independence just gently erode away out of convenience.
Now, I will bet you the go to the game is something that, you know what? I'm supporting him. That's fine. Let's go to the game. Because on the surface, people will probably tell you, do you really want to do that? You're going to get swarmed. You know, you're going to have your security, but is that a wise move to go to this game? And she's like, yes, I want to support. I just want to kind of feel like I'm doing something regular. So they said, okay.
And that's new relationship stuff. If they last and stay together for a long time, she won't go to another game the rest of his career after it hits the year mark.
Or will she Brittany Mahomes it, and she's down there on the sideline waiting for him to
with
run
the
over
4
with the
kids,
kiss and all that? Yeah.
The kids in her arms as he goes and warms up.
Why does she have to wait with the kids?
Because he's warming up to play football.
Why can't he take care of them
while he's playing?
At work? Yes.
The kid's on the bench with the iPad.
And he's trying to give him an iPad and get the app working because he's got to get in there.
he's trying to feed him as they have a turnover.
Here, just play with the iPad. I don't know. And here, having to go over there and pour some more goldfish on the tray top.
Hands the baby to Andy Reid. He has to trot back out there as to go in the seam round. Hey, coach, could you?
He's like, can we get a changing table in the tent, please? This is ridiculous.
Oh, man, make the call. How about that? There it is.
Do we have to play the whole thing at the end?
Yes.
All right. Let's go to. There's no one there. Let's go to call number 2. Nope, not there either. Let's go to this guy. Nope, not there either. Maybe someone will be on this. Nope. All right. One more chance here.
You have one more chance. One more chance. Go. One more.
Production with soaring aerialists, bounding acrobats, and high-energy choreography. See it in one of the most technologically immersive theaters ever designed. Get your tickets for this must-see Wynn Las Vegas experience at awakening.com.
Whose defense is championship worthy if they play up to their spec. And it's one bad half of football that doomed this team. And it looks like, hey, if this defense is on par and they're playing really well, this team is going to have a chance to win because that's what they thrive on. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There are a lot of teams in the league that if their defense is playing to how they are supposed to be playing, then they're going to have a chance to win this game. I know offense sells the tickets, but the defense can win you a game and win you championships. And their defense is going to have to try to slow down one of the most potent running games in the NFL. And if there's any weakness on this team and what they're going to try to exploit on this team, it's running and probably just in between the tackles because the Cowboys in the past have been pretty light up front and able to push around in the middle. But now you've corrected that. You got Hankins, you have Odighizuo's playing well, Gallimore, you drafted Mozzie Smith for more wagon Wednesday right in the middle. So you can see if you can just clog the middle and your linebackers can go out there and free them up and make some plays. So if they can contain this running game, kind of like they did in the playoff game.
Exactly. Yeah.
They will have a chance to win this ball game. They can't let McCaffrey run all over him, Debo get into space, and because you want to talk about someone who can make you miss tackles. That's Debo Samuel. He's so strong. And then they can go down the field with Jennings and Ayuk. Like, they have offensive weapons. But if your defense is playing up to their mettle, then you are definitely going to have a chance on offense to try to just play that efficient, controlled football that a lot of people, they don't like.
But it wins.
But it wins. And that's all that matters.
And that's the key. You go back to the playoff game last year, and we talked about this yesterday. They're in the thing in that Dak pick in the red zone late in the first half. We can't have that, man. Your quarterback, who is the longest tenured quarterback of any quarterback in the NFL that you're paying all this money to, cannot make those mistakes in games like this.
I mean, but there are some times where it's a tip pass, and there are sometimes like you throw your hands up and saying, what can you do?
Right.
On the other hand, it's those situations where when it happens to you, and it will, every quarterback in this league will have 4, 5, 6 passes that are turnover worthy, and it's up to your defense to get their hands on the ball. Whether it's an interception, tip pass, strip sack, something, you're going to have an opportunity to get a turnover. And with this team,
they should have
They got to have it.
And they had it last year in the playoff game. Purdy was very, very good. He played a better game than Dak, but there were a couple of opportunities in that game last year where we had become accustomed to when the Cowboys defenders get their hands on the ball, they take it. And that didn't happen in that game. Purdy's not going to go undefeated his entire career, and he's not going to go interceptionless the entire season. And you're starting to wonder, at some point, this dude's going to lose a game. He's going to throw an untimely interception. And this is a type of defense that can make him uncomfortable with the amount of pressure that San Francisco, their offensive line is not as good as it was last year. And I think with the Dallas front, there's going to be opportunities. Can you get in his face? Can you make him uncomfortable in the pocket? And we may not notice it at first, but we've seen this time and time again as games go on. We saw it last week with Mac Jones for sure. When you constantly have pressure in your face, at some point during the game, it starts to affect you. And at some point, I think if the Cowboys can do that on Sunday night, maybe it's not a first or a second quarter interception. Maybe it's a third quarter where he finally is like, man, these guys are all over me, and rushes a throw. You got to make him uncomfortable. Because one thing the 49ers are so good at is protecting him from really getting hit and giving him easy throws and opportunities because they run so well. And if you can take that away and get some pressure when Purdy does have to throw, then I do think the Cowboys can win this game. These teams are neck and neck, man.
And I know it's maddening with the offense in the red zone and them not being able to score touchdowns. I know it is. But points are good. Now, if you're inside the 10,
yes.
If you're inside the 10 and it's first down and it feels like your quarterback and your running back running to each other and it just feels like there's lack of communication and all that, that can get frustrating. I know it. But, man, if you can just get points and your defense plays the way you expect them to play, that's I understand. But your defense they are the leaders on this team.
Yeah.
And they've got to play well for you to have. I don't think you can win a shootout with San Francisco. But you can definitely win 17-14.
I'd love to win 17-14.
Or 20-17 or something like that. You definitely can do that.
Yeah.
But you just got to make sure that your defense is on point. You're getting pressure on Purdy. Your linebackers, when they are free and they have space to make plays, you go make the tackle. Don't miss tackles. McCaffrey is all world, dude. And I know sometimes you have to play a bit on your heels because if he gets one step on you, it's over. But you neutralize their weapons on offense with your defense and your speed, then you will be in this game.
They should be, and I'm not going to be surprised. I honestly don't know what to expect because I do think that this is finally going to be a very close game where you're either going to have to make a stop on San Francisco's last drive or drive the field for you to win. I think it's a last possession type game. We cannot have turnovers. Dak cannot throw interceptions. If you get in the red zone and it's not there, throw it out of the back of the end zone. Hell, kneel. I don't care. Just don't throw the damn ball into forced windows in the red zone and take those chances. You cannot do that against teams like this. Force them to make the mistake when Purdy has the ball.
And just remember that playoff game last year to where it was really neck and neck and it was tight.
It was
9-9. And the defense played well, but late in the game they just couldn't get those stops.
Yeah.
It was third down and they'd get the first down and they just had long drives to where you say if you just get off the field – make that play, and that's why I think even when we got on the post game after the playoff game last year, the thought was you can't say anything bad really about the defense because they played really well. Mm-hmm. But it was just when they needed that stop, they couldn't get it. It was Diggs kind of flying by Kittle and not making the tackle to get that first down on that long play and just keeping the clock moving. San Francisco, when they needed an offensive drive, they delivered. When Dallas needed an offensive drive, they couldn't. And Dallas's defense at those crucial times couldn't get those stops. So, yeah, it's almost like if you have a perfect scenario for this game, well, a perfect one is you have 3 touchdowns and you don't worry about it. But a perfect scenario is not the offense having to drive down the field for it to score a touchdown to win the game. It's your defense on the field stopping them from scoring a touchdown, winning the game. I think if you ask that scenario which one you want,
defense
I want
all day.
my defense on the field because that's the strength of this team.
Win the game. And the defense, I think if you hold San Francisco under 20 points, that's the defense going, we did our job, go do yours. Because the Cowboys are going to get the ball 10, 11 times on offense. So all we're asking you to do, get points on 4 drives. 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, there's your 20. And if you can get to that number of 20, we all know how good the Cowboys are. Their record when they don't hit 20 points, I want to say, is 0 for their last 21 when they don't hit that 20-point mark. You just got to get to 20 points because I do think that this Dallas defense will hold San Francisco like they did in the playoff game, but the offense, at some point, the offense has to help you.
And if you're running on offense, they say you're Tony Pollard, you feel you're going to get tackled when you get inside.
Put a face
know
on
your
it.
stump anywhere.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Like a stump lineup.
Ooh.
Right? Yeah. Like I don't want him to immediately pick it out in a stump lineup, and
You're like the Alexis Texas of stumps.
he doesn't even need me to step forward. Just immediately.
Friday
It's like-
fun.
That's the stump officer.
It's poking up.
Sir,
Not even
I'd
at
know
the
that
1
stump
foot line.
anywhere.
Friday
Just
fun this
immediately-
week. We'll have Davey try to identify Justin Stump with other stumps.
You got to do it like the way Matt McLaren did the beer, though. You got to taste
yeah,
it.
smell
I'll
it.
definitely do better than McLaren.
A
Give a
lineup
little
of
lick.
stumps.
Oh, yeah, that's Monty's stump. It tastes like chicken and sweat.
Stump the stump.
Well, I hear the hard line, but I don't see the hard line, so I don't know if they're on vacation or
Well, that'd be weird.
what's going on.
We are at Rally House in Hurst.
Yes.
In
Rally
Daly's
House.
old stomping grounds. And you know what?
I'm more of a Bedford guy, but
it's a
Still.
Rally House.
Mid-cities are mid-cities.
Is that
Mid-city
the one
strong, bro.
Is that the one next to the boot house?
All right.
Boot House.
I'm more of an Ennis guy.
Little boot and rally.
The anus.
Okay.
Well, today is Thursday, October 5th, the
Thanks for ruining the whole show.
278th day of 2023.
You
There are
guys can't
87
hear
days.
somebody when they're killing. And come on.
Only 87 days left in the year. On this date in 1947, President Harry S. Truman delivered the first televised White House address as he spoke
Harry
on
S.
the world
Truman.
food crisis.
Ask not.
For a
Wrong
hamburger.
speech.
Ask not if you will finish that.
I wonder for how many people that was the first time they ever saw what their president looked like.
A gun in every cabinet. There's a chicken in every pot.
In 1969, the British TV series Monty Python's Flying Circus debuted on the BBC.
Greatness.
Absolute great.
I hear that, but I've never seen it.
What?
It's only a flesh wound.
There's only room for one Monty.
We need Monty on Monty Python at some point.
Get me and Jordan Montgomery in there.
Yeah.
Monty on Monty on
Jim
Monty
Montgomery.
Python.
They named a network BBC.
Not that BBC, not the guy on the edge of the bed.
What does that stand for?
The first word
Just
is
leave everyone alone.
Rob Deerdeck's
It's
best
about
friend.
clocks that are large.
We'll have Ty text you.
Okay.
Large.
And send me the picture.
Yeah, the second letter is friends.
Ty
doesn't have.
So did Ty text you that picture because he's going to put it on a T-shirt?
Yeah. Just put a little whip logo or
I'd buy it.
whatever in the middle.
Call it the sweet spot right there.
Right there.
In 1970, PBS began broadcasting on American television, becoming known for various programs like Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
And KERA, Dallas' own, the first to air Monty Python in the U.S.
How about that tie-in?
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I
Aren't
know.
you just full of fun
Why would
facts?
you question Diamond Talk on that?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on their show 2 days in a row, and now he questioned you.
It's okay.
In 2001,
It's not fair.
tabloid photo editor Robert Stevens died from inhaled anthrax, the first of a series of anthrax cases in Florida, New York, New Jersey, and Washington.
You should have inhaled Winger.
I was waiting, or Dawkins. That was all in that time of the, DC sniper
Yeah.
and the.
We were just caught in a mosh.
All the 9/11 stuff.
They're all
I
just
get that.
worried.
Maybe.
They're all terrified. Yeah, I didn't open any of my mail.
It was a madhouse.
Didn't open my little highlights magazine.
Judas Priest.
You weren't down with the sickness?
We're not putting Disturbed into this. No,
Yeah, I was
Disturbed
gonna
is a
say.
good band.
Disturbed.
Who was the crap
Okay.
band that was here yesterday? What was their names?
Nickelback? I don't. Oh, Suicide Boys.
Suicide Boys.
With a Z.
Yeah.
Nickelback.
And a dollar sign for the S.
They had some interesting fans walking up. That'd have been a
Yeah.
great time to be out in the plaza doing wireless.
Missed it, Dave.
Mino and I saw a couple of
They're my people.
of ladies walking in.
Little methy.
It made me
No.
just wonder
Very
what the hell I
gothy.
was.
Yeah.
Very gothy.
Some gothy. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But
a lot of black clothing.
I don't see
And
color, Monty. Whoa.
Yeah,
okay, the guy who asked me what BBC means.
a lot of BB clothing.
Were you gothy at all?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I couldn't pull that off.
Go Dave.
Did you wear eyeliner to school? No, I was a nerd.
A goth nerd.
No.
And then you got into Morrissey and everything changed.
I did have sideburns in high school. That was my claim to fame.
What a rebel.
Hey, man,
So
you hear
edgy.
about Davey?
It was
Man, I heard
it
you
was
got
cool
sideburns
then.
now.
Dave.
No one else did?
Realize that there is no correct answer here, Dave.
He's real douchey about him. He calls them Burnsides.
Wearing his Dare T-shirt.
Dare. That works.
And in 2017, the New York Times publishes a detailed investigation into allegations of sexual assault against film producer Harvey Weinstein.
No.
I know you guys are bummed.
Remember Mountainous Backney.
God.
That's all I can think of when I think of him.
Oh,
What a disgusting man.
Oh.
But he put out good movies, right?
Oh,
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
there
Pulp Fiction was
that.
great.
Yeah.
Still have the idea, though.
Although he did do Shakespeare in Love.
Do you think he had a lot to do with those films?
Shakespeare in Love beat out Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah,
I took a date
he
to that
insisted
movie.
that
I don't
the
remember any of it.
Right.
should be
It's
made
terrible.
out of order.
Yay.
Why are you anti
Shakespeare in Love
Wiener
sucks.
Wiener green-lighted that one.
Stuff he made QT do. P1 birthdays. Monty, Sweet Spot, and the Hardliners. Could you please wish a speedy recovery to Big P1 and my friend Todd Liska? Drum legend Todd had surgery last week and is recovering. He loves the Rangers. Donovan and the Commander are his leaders. Great husband, dad, P1 and friend. Thank you kindly. That from our very own Frankie.
Frankie.
Good dude.
Get better, Todd.
When Frankie reaches out, you put him at the top of the list. That's how it works. Justin, please wish my brother-in-law Joey Howington a happy birthday. I have no idea
Joey.
how old he is because we aren't really that close.
What?
This one's from the heart. I attached a pic of his wife. She was voted Mom of the Week by the Denton Geyer football team.
Isn't that his sister?
That's a big deal.
Do we get a picture?
If you can get Mom of the
You
Week
said
in
his
Geyer.
brother-in-law, right?
Yeah.
Do a lot of football teams nominate a Mom of the Week?
Oh, they all do.
Yeah, there's always one.
That's
mom.
really gross.
Not a lot of
she
them.
might-
And it's usually the same mom
She
every
might
week.
win Mom of the Year.
In 2017, won most epic ass.
Please have Corby wishing good luck with his bottom. That from Tom.
Good luck with your bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah, I'll send you the photo, L4G.
Thank you.
And,
Good luck, Jennifer. Go with your bottom.
Dearest of Monty's, please wish Daryl a happy 53rd birthday.
Easy, Daryl.
He would love to hear someone on the hard line singing.
God, do you guys know any? Okay, that's a good one.
It is a good one.
I do know.
About to get
Now just close your eyes and imagine that with sideburns in middle school.
Oh, it's the Butthole Surfers.
going for speed.
Tearing a photo of the Pope.
It's DNCE. All right, birthdays today. Turning 80, Steve Miller. You had a bunch of names.
Even as a 4-year-old, I thought he sucked.
How many
Just the
days?
best around.
How many days would you ask for off your life to never hear Steve Miller Band again, Corby?
Oh my God, dude. You know what? I live in a place now. I live in a world where it would be an upset if I do hear one. Right? Like we can avoid Steve Miller.
Well,
Can you?
Why?
I don't know.
I'll make you a deal.
Some people call him Maurice.
I'll kill you right now so you never have to hear it again.
I wonder if that's
He's
worth
willing
it.
to do that as a friend.
Yeah.
I mean, I would rather give up truffles.
I don't know why y'all hate the Gangster of Love so much.
Seriously. It's disrespectful.
He's a grinner.
Would
he's
you
a
give
lover,
up
he's a
singles
sinner.
pickleball to never hear
Oh,
Steve
wow.
Miller again?
Oh, that's tough.
You can still play doubles, but you can't play singles.
Yes, I would.
I'd give up one of my
Wow.
butlers.
Would you give up Eddie Vedder singing to you at the concert?
Would I give up one of my traveling maids that I take with me everywhere?
That steal your wristbands.
Would you step
Right.
down as commissioner of your fantasy polo league?
Interesting.
All right, for every touchdown
No.
OU scores this weekend, the band has to play Steve Miller. What's the final score?
And the Bucks never make the
it's another
playoffs again.
shutout. Oh no! What happened?
Let's leave the Bucks out of this.
We're
You're
Bucks
just denying
buddies.
your kid another.
I know we're
chance
Bucks
to see a
buddies.
No, you're
touchdown.
not.
We tried to get
We
Hunter
are.
Lepke yesterday,
Yeah.
but he's from Wisconsin and he doesn't like the Bucks.
Was he a T-Wolves guy?
Man, he just doesn't like basketball.
We're just out here
Just doesn't like
recruiting.
basketball?
Yeah, he's more of a
He's-
hockey guy.
Which is very surprising for
And-
Wisconsin.
And a
I
wrestler.
think
He doesn't like the whole kneeling thing.
the Fullbacks
Yeah.
Guild totally will receive him with great reviews now. Not really into basketball.
Were you shocked to find out that John Kuhn was his big inspiration?
Not
He said
shocking.
He loved to
Not
go in
at
the stadium
all.
and just scream at the top of his lungs. Like
And he was at a Vikings game that day. Packers weren't even playing.
Yeah. Turning 76 today, Brian Johnson, the guitarist of AC/DC.
Hell yeah.
I'll just say, as a Wisconsinite,
The guitarist?
Singer, bro.
Not guitarist,
Come on.
bro. Come on now.
just as a Wisconsinite,
We hate to shame you.
That
like
was an
that.
intentional draw us offside.
I just want to say that
He wears a little schoolboy outfit.
your offensive
funny.
jokes are pretty rich since we were in the North.
Ooh.
Norse.
Since we fought the Confederacy on certain issues.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you were
Prove-
probably
prove that,
really
though.
cool to black people. Back then. You're probably really accepting.
Well, I can't prove it either way, but I can prove where you were on this.
I was down there hulling up with Santa Ana.
Folks down south. Don't tell me about Wisconsin.
Like, hola, Commander. How's it going?
I got a birthday.
Kiddo
Monto.
queso?
We had to run a rail. We had to run a railroad just to get him out of there.
Yes, Corby.
Today is the 81st birthday of JL, who is the father of BL.
Whoa.
Yes. Happy birthday, JL. A great listener at 81. I'm going to put him in the official octogenarian club of listeners. Matter of fact, he's the president.
He's great.
JL.
He's great, but CL is the funniest.
How Chinese is he?
He's not. Not all of my friends are Chinese.
Just one.
Most. Just most.
But all
everyone that's Chinese is Corby's friend. That's right.
The ones that are full blown.
Turning 65 today, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Iron Mike.
He's real cocky for a scientist.
Yeah.
Drummer of Tesla, Troy Laketta, 64. Actor Guy Pearce, 56.
Guy Pearce. Hollywoodland.
I feel like
Memento.
Corby is always
Memento.
terribly underrated Tesla.
The band or the car?
The
band.
second hottest woman in Titanic, Kate Winslet, 48.
LA Confidential, Corby.
Who was the? Oh yeah, LA Confidential. Who's the hottest?
Kathy Bates.
Oh.
You're right.
Or
You're right,
Old
Kathy
Rose.
Bates.
Jesse Eisenberg, 40.
She showed him.
Yeah, I wanted
Yeah,
Old
why
Rose
didn't
to
they
get
show
naked.
Old Rose? That would have really made us feel better.
Everything's cool.
Hooking up with
She
Nikki
voted, I
Hilton,
think.
40.
Did she vote?
If y'all are wondering why Corby's not here today,
I'm here.
Okay, bye.
Barry Switzer is 86 today.
What a
What are we doing at
wonderful
the party?
opportunity to promote Barry Switzer today at 5:15.
Yes. He is going to be hammered.
My God.
I just talked to him.
He's going to be
How's that
tripping
different?
balls.
So far, he is
What's
not
his,
hammered.
What's his opinion on being an assistant coach?
Let's see.
Come on, Ham.
Mario Lemieux, 58.
Once scored.
Still playing, right?
Once scored 5 different ways.
Ham.
What does that mean?
He scored goals 5 different ways in
Mouth.
one game.
Shin.
But
Ham.
Yeah.
Ham.
TF.
Yeah.
Hey, Corby,
Even strength, shorthanded, power play, empty net, penalty shot.
do you think
Ear.
Ryan Broyles will be at the birthday party tonight?
Sure hope so.
Fuge.
Good. Turning 51, Mino, Grant Hill.
it's my first NBA crush. Grant Hill had the 33 jersey.
Rex Chapman, 56. We still like
Boy.
his bit?
Internet.
He still got a good
In
internet
his
bit?
day.
He's parlayed that into
Look,
interview show.
Just be glad that he's not on opioids
That's true.
anymore.
In his day.
SPM,
Stealing
a.k.a.
iPhones.
the South Park Mexican, 53. Alexi Ogando, 40. Brandon Wright,
Don
Portmouth,
Arredondo.
36. Born this day now dead,
Alexia Gondo, child trafficking ring.
Ray Kroc.
He
Or
invented it.
human trafficking ring.
I didn't know that you were on the morning show now.
Well,
I-
I'm just today.
Is it just today?
Yeah, don't fall
Okay.
in love with it.
Oh, okay. There's so many
Don't fall in love
changes.
with it.
So many changes. How are you, ma'am? How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
What is your name?
My name's Georgianne.
Georgianne, I'm the ghost of Dick Butkus. Do you know Bob Sturm?
Hi, Bob. How
Hello.
are you doing?
It's so nice to see you
From
today.
The Athletic. And then you also have George Dunham.
I do
From
know.
R.L. Turner. Does that mean
She used to be the
anything to
principal.
you?
I was the principal at good old R.L. Turner.
Good God, Jiminy Christ! What is that you're saying?
Now, I wasn't George's principal, but
I was about to say you're too young for that. Yeah. We're having fun, aren't we?
we're having a
Both of
great
us.
old
Yes,
time.
indeed.
Do you know a swim coach?
Do you know a swim coach named Marge? Because she worked there.
No, she didn't.
Oh, I don't know her. That may be before my time. George, what class was George?
I was 83.
George had an affair with the teacher of a sexual nature.
I did not.
Well, we can't be having that. Not in Terrell ISD. No.
Yeah, she works for the ISD here. Not a great.
Well, I'm Dick Butkus. I play very rough.
No,
I play rough
either.
here. So.
Gosh, what a mess.
Quite a stand there, Dick.
Well, what are you out here doing in Terrell if you coach at R.L. Turner?
She works for the ISD out here.
I'm confused. I just died, Giorgio. Give me a break. I've been through a lot.
Gosh.
I'm the superintendent of schools here.
Superintendent you're talking to.
Here in Terrell, okay. And so R.L. Turner's in the Terrell School District, is it?
Nope, it's in Carrollton Farmers Branch.
Okay, I'm so confused.
What are you class
I'm so
president?
very
Well,
alone here in the afterlife.
Yeah, you just died, so.
I don't know.
Would you go back to your voice?
Who?
Stop
What?
it.
Do you have a husband?
I do.
Really? First husband?
No. It's my
Oh my
second.
gosh, bear traps with the ghost of Dick
Uh-oh.
Butkus. This is what hell is like, Bob. You'll never find out, but this is what it's like.
Maybe the ghost of Gail Sayers could save us. I don't know.
Very sorry, I didn't know about that. Well, it was an amicable divorce.
Yeah, very amicable.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Yay.
No, thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Okay,
Please
let's
take
work
the mic back from
No,
the
we'll
ghost.
work our way back here. How are you, ma'am?
I'm good.
You don't look very happy. Are you?
She's not. She's like me. She's not
unhappy
happy
to
with this
be
whole
here.
thing.
I'll be honest, I don't know anything about sports. I'm here for work.
Well,
For support.
talking to the right person right there.
What are you saying? The ghost of Dick Butkus doesn't know anything about sports, George?
I'm sure he does, but
What are your interests, ma'am? You're wearing overalls. Are you a farmer of some sort?
My interest.
Oh, my goodness. Something happened back
Boy,
there.
big reaction.
That killed.
Yeah, it killed with one person. Speaking of killed, did you know I'm dead?
No.
Yes, and Dick Butkus died recently. So tell me what you do.
I work for the Terrell Chamber of Commerce.
Okay. And they let people work there with nice tattoos. What kind of tattoos do you have?
A moth.
Okay, what is this? That's a death head moth, isn't it?
No.
Oh, sorry. All right. And what's the other thing? Is it a...
Pinky promise, you know?
Okay, a pinky promise. Did you make a pinky promise with someone?
No, it's just matching with my family, my cousin.
Okay, your cousin. And what's your cousin's name?
Alyssa.
Oh, that's very sweet. And what does Alyssa do?
She's an ABA therapist.
What?
I thought the ABA wasn't around anymore.
I thought that was a type of routing that they do.
It's the Virginia Squires, I think.
Anyway, do you know that woman's first husband by any chance?
No,
it.
I don't.
Stop it.
Okay, are you married?
I am not.
Oh, well, God bless. Are you interested in the ghosts of old Chicago Bears players?
No.
I have no idea what was just said. Neither do you, apparently. Anyway, what are your interests and hobbies?
I like the Aggies. I like Taylor Swift. So I kind of like the Chiefs now because of Taylor.
So happy
that,
day.
Bob? No.
Yes, we need more people interested in the NFL for about 3 weeks until that relationship ends. Having fun. Your name was Kelsey, right?
Peyton.
Peyton, that's what I thought. Yes, thank you, Peyton. Do appreciate it so much. Okay, let's go. Everyone else is hiding from me, George.
Yeah.
They must be scared
they
of the
know.
spectral ghost.
They don't want to talk to a ghost.
Yes,
How many
indeed.
ghost linebackers have they talked to?
Do I throw it back to you, or do I keep going?
No, it's good to do one more there.
Okay.
You ghost.
Well, don't say do one more. That's somewhat
Haunt-
offensive.
haunt
How
one
are
more.
you, ma'am?
I'm good.
What's your name?
Morgan.
What do you do for a living, Morgan?
I work for the
She works for us.
She works for us
Yes.
as a full-time job?
No, it's my part-time.
Part-time job. What do you do for your full-time job?
I'm a barista at Starbucks.
See there, George? I
Okay.
told you. Come on, George. You recognize this voice, George?
Don't you die. Just join Dick Butkus.
George just told you to die.
No,
and I'm so
it's
sorry
okay,
that he
too.
said that to you and everything. So, what is the most complicated order that I can have at a Starbucks? Because I want to go in there today and give a really complicated order.
I mean, the more stuff you add to it, so like adding like 15 different syrups and shots and stuff like that.
Is there any limit to the amount that you can order? Like, do you guys ever cut someone off and say, you know what, 7 ingredients is about enough?
No, I had a lady ask for 27 pumps of white mocha one time in her drink.
Wow.
27 pumps.
Wish I had a woman ask me that.
Yeah, every woman I've ever dated had asked for that. I could only make it to about 7, but anyway.
Hey,
we're having fun.
Hey, next time that someone has an order for you, Morgan, why don't you start off by going, yeah, here we go,
Wait,
like Dak does.
Good. And, you should be up and at 'em with an early start today. And congratulations on getting this team back into the playoffs.
Well, you always want to get into the playoffs, a little bit more cleanly and decisively than we probably did here. Don't like. But in baseball, you got to take it the way it comes, and losing to Seattle, lose a division title is not something you ever want. But I mean,
right?
That's not something you ever want. I mean, did you want that when you were a boy growing up?
No, of course not.
No, of course not. I mean, I wanted to grow up to fight Nazis and Japanese with my large, gray-haired, overly muscled forearms while, writing vague letters back home in pencil on the backs of Lucky Strike cartons. But that's just a manly thing, that I wanted.
Well, speaking of getting into the playoffs, and this is kind of a touchy subject, but do you think you guys over-celebrated on Saturday once you knew you were going to be in the playoffs?
Well, you never want to feel like you celebrate, too early, and I was against that. I didn't authorize the champagne or anything like that. I didn't want guys popping corks and acting like we won anything that we didn't, that we weren't entitled to, and I had a different celebration authorized, and they just didn't go with that one.
What was yours?
Well, I wanted the guys to do something a little more humble and manly. I wanted them to kind of put on their PPE and fire up the DeWalt's and do some work on radial arm saws, making furniture for the Amish and for, the children of a local orphanage, something old school and manly. But
sure, right there in the clubhouse? Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't always go the way you want
it. No, it doesn't. Well, this is a formidable team that you're taking on. Tampa won 99 games this year.
Well, they did, and it feels like, certainly Dane has done his best. If we can get back to Dane, which we haven't talked about yet.
Oh, okay, yeah, Dane Dunning, who pitched for you on Sunday.
Right. And, we didn't win, but we got to start finding ways to get a run or two when it really matters, and trusting our guys to do what they can, whether it's a leadoff single or Corey cleaning it up, pushing in runs. It's all this managing is just something I reluctantly do because I'm such a man of quiet contemplation, manly quietude, and things like that. I'd much rather be sneaking a dip in the garage while listening to old big band music on a transistor radio while installing a radiator on a 37 Ford.
That's what you're comfortable
doing. A lot of
doing.
manly things to do there.
Same as you. But we're going to bounce back. We're going to get the offense going. Going to fly to Tampa and play a really good team here. And
hopefully you're there.
We're there.
Hopefully you're there.
I still haven't made it yet. I had to stop on horseback and use a payphone to talk with you. But,
oh, wow.
But, we don't want to get greedy. We're going to battle for every win, get them when we can, wherever we can. It's a competitive division, obviously, and so you saw that. But now we're in the playoffs.
Right.
Kirby was tough on a lot of teams and on us, and we just, we had our hands full. But,
Yep.
Well, hey, you've won World Series before. You're in the tournament. A lot of Ranger fans have hope that it could happen.
Well, I appreciate it, and it was good to talk to you guys. Feels like we're just a couple guys sharing tools on a fall day when we can keep our garage doors open and maybe pass a cigarette back and forth, talking cryptically about the woman we both once loved, and all standard stuff delivered in the pleasant growl of an old West voiceover. But look, we're all hungry for a World Series title here in DFW, and the guys and me, we're all hoping to bring that to you. Everybody's hungry for it, and so.
Yeah.
And that's why I'd like to mention, kind of in a casual way, my new line of Bruce Bochy's signature habanero steeped free-range skirt steak.
Skirt steak?
Always plugging something.
Skirt steak. It's sold at all local chuck wagons and rural tractor supply stores. You'll find it. And so It's a steak that can really keep you and your family fed as you try to survive the winter in your log cabins under a pile of buffalo pelts. And
Well, I don't know how many people are doing that.
but it's and skirt steak, for those who may not know, you can make jerky out of it. It's a great source of nutrition as you and the other men of your community, form a posse to track down a horse thief across the high desert plains. Maybe only half a canteen of creek water to keep you alive and serving the Lord here on earth.
Yeah, I don't know that that's going on a lot these days.
Let's get back to baseball.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you.
Come out here and get a turkey leg the size of Zach Martin's torso. Being a Cowboy fan, you'll like the fact that the greasy turkey leg will run through you faster than Micah Parsons pursuing a quarterback.
Okay. You like that?
We have a promotion. Eat one turkey leg and leave 12 oil slicks throughout the midway.
All right. Jeez.
Speaking of food, the State Fair is the only place where you can eat 12,000 calories in less than 23 seconds with our new menu item, deep fried butter.
Wow. That sounds rich.
Butter. Yeah, you can walk that off, though.
Where we take a stick of butter, deep fry it, then butter it, and deep fry it again in Oreo-flavored pure animal grease.
Wow.
Then sprinkle it with chili powder and drench it in queso and douse it with whipped cream and jalapenos and serve it with a wedding cake and an auxiliary stick of butter. Deep fried butter. Now that's what I call pizza.
Have you already had big crowds there at the State Fair?
We've had big crowds, George. A big success here at the State Fair of Texas. And all the kids who've come through the gates have all been wondering how old Big Tex is doing after 2012, when I went full Buddhist monk in a fit of depression, when my wife walked out on me for a county inspector that she met on FetLife.
FetLife? What is
The
that?
fetish dating site, George.
Oh, gosh.
Well, kids, the short answer is not too good.
Oh, no.
Not too good. I've had a rough couple of years. My car was repossessed, and it was a highly modified Miata, so not easily replaceable.
How did you fit into even a highly modified Miata?
Also, my dog died after a mountain of depression trash fell over and crushed him inside my single wide.
Terrible.
Man, that's
Also, I was passed over for the Golden Bachelor.
Oh, no.
I was going to go on there to find some old gal I could split in half and...
Wow.
I'm sorry, I have my estate split in half for. To share my life with. That's what I mean.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's what old Big Tex means.
Okay.
Speaking of being on fire, I thought my butt was on fire yesterday.
It was.
I participated in National Taco Day.
Okay.
Gave me more wind than a Cat 5 hurricane. Speaking of sports, old Big Tex hopes Texas kicks OU's ass this weekend.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. You'd root for Texas.
I always root for my home state, which is New York, but I also root for Texas because I work down here.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were from New York.
You know what Big Tex really wants to know? What else is on that Hunter Biden laptop this administration
Big Tex,
doesn't want
we gotta
you to
let
see?
you go.
888-787.
Gotta let
We're
you
not
go.
taking calls on it. We'll see a Big Tex.
And I usually hate Patriots Week. I usually dread Patriots Week when we play them because I'm always nervous every time I see that gargoyle in a sweatshirt roaming up and down the other sideline over there. But I didn't see his press conference after the game. Was he pretty pissy with reporters?
Yeah, not any more than usual. Yeah, he was not happy, though.
Yeah. His demeanor always kind of reminds me of Gene after court-ordered paternity test results come back,
All right, you don't have to bring those up.
Little grumpy. But it makes me very happy, and to welcome NFL royalty like Bill Belichick to our stadium, and then have us slap the ever-living shiznit out of him.
You certainly did that. His biggest loss ever.
Of his NFL career. That's right. Sure that? Is. And I'm really proud of our team that we really turned it around, because last week's Cardinals loss had me standing on the edge of the Grand Canyon in a Santa outfit with a chef's knife at my throat, and now we're back on top of the world.
Yeah.
You actually drove up to the Grand Canyon after that game?
And I helicoptered there. And put on the outfit while in the helicopter. But
that would have been a terrible ending.
But a 35-point margin of victory.
Victory, right?
Victory.
Right.
I mean, I'm very proud of that. That's more like it. That's what I like to see. That's the kind of Cowboys game that I feel good about getting drunk to.
And now it's San Francisco week. We were talking earlier. It's like flashbacks to the 90s now.
It is. It's very much flashbacks to the 90s.
90s. Uh-huh.
But in this case, I think. You know what I think was the difference this week?
Huh.
I think my pregame pep talk in the locker room is what did it. That's where I tried to get them motivated. I threatened all their families, and I think that really motivated the team.
Oh, gosh. I didn't know you were talking to the team before games now.
Well, I only do it on special occasions, and I really wanted to get them motivated for the return of Zeke Elliott. Zeke.
Yeah.
And we made a nice highlights tribute video for Zeke's return that we played right before the game.
That was nice. I think he appreciated it.
It was very nice. And of course, I had them edit out a few things like his personal conduct suspension, his booby grabbing at St. Patty's Day parade, and that holdout for his ridiculous contract that forced me to empty out my hush money account. I had
left
to edit
those
that out. That was the first draft that they showed me. But this game is over. This game is over,
right.
And we need to focus on the future. And I have a rule. I have a rule that you can only celebrate a victory for 2 weeks, and then you have to move on.
And it's supposed to be 24 hours?
So I'm going to start focusing on the 49ers a week after that game's been played.
Okay.
But we're very pleased, and we have a lot of positivity going into that game, and I just really want to congratulate Coach Mike
McCarthy,
indeed, on this victory, because he's really pulled this offense together, and I'm just really appreciative of that. So let's get ready for the San Francisco
49ers.
49ers.
There we go.
49ers, that's right. And we're going to go Cowboys. Go Cowboys.
Cowboys. All right, we'll see you. There goes Jera. 8:47 on.
So yes, Junes, there was a little implication by you that maybe they weren't real, they were a little embellished, something like that. And
he was accusing you of faking it.
Yeah.
He's accused a lot of women.
Let's cut that back.
I guarantee that. So I just wanted to come and let you know that, as any woman my age would say, they're real and they're spectacular.
I love the Seinfeld reference. I believe you.
How long have you been listening?
Since 2009.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Is George your favorite?
No.
You know what? It's like your kids. You can't choose between them.
But if you
I
had
like
to choose,
that answer.
I would totally choose Jeff. Yeah.
Oh.
Totally choose Jeff. No, I meant choose which one of your kids to live.
To live.
Don't
Yeah,
make
that's
her
a little
say
tough.
that.
That's a
I'm
little
stepping
tough.
in here. Don't
Come
do
on,
that.
I want to do a little William Styron here.
No.
Like grandkids at some point, so it's, you know.
Are you getting close to grandkids?
Oh yeah, our son is 26 and married in San Antonio, and
It
our
could
daughter's
happen.
23 and about.
Dang, you look like you're 35.
Oh, I love you.
Oh, thank you. You love me more than Jub yet?
No.
Okay.
You look like you're 30.
I'll be 48 in a week and a half.
Wow.
Way to go, Craig.
He's just trying to
Way
make
to
up for
go.
the faking it thing.
You look like you're 25.
He's trying really hard to make up for the
I
hiccup.
take that back. No more bones to pick.
Okay, you want to give a shout out to anyone? A little hello?
All my V1s, including PK,
Mm-hmm.
and Mariola, and Kate, and Carrie, and everybody.
You're just making up names now. Yeah, you're just making up names. Okay, and you, ma'am, what's your story?
I don't have a story.
Oh, you gotta have it. Everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story.
You got a tattoo on your
I
arm.
do. I have two.
And what do they mean?
This I got with my for my granddaughter on her 18th birthday a year ago last August. We went and got matching ones.
It's like an infinity symbol, but it's got an arrow through it.
I let her pick it out. I said I just want matching.
So you have no idea what it means or anything.
Means
Because
to
I was about say,
infinity and
isn't
beyond.
that's a white supremacy symbol, man.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And
what
then
you
this
doing?
one I got last November after my brother passed away.
Way to go, Gordon.
No, don't ask about
You are
tattoos.
unbelievable.
So
I'm
terribly
sorry, man, for your
for-
loss.
For your loss. What does it say there?
It says Faith, Hope, Love. And I had been wanting to have it anyways. And 2
Oh.
days after his funeral, I was like, it's time.
Oh, that's sweet.
Anyway, well, why are you laughing?
Because I'm embarrassed.
Oh, don't be embarrassed.
don't
it's,
be.
it's not
It's
your
Gordon
fault
who's
he died.
embarrassing.
Or is it? I don't know. I didn't know the full story here.
No.
No.
Gordon Key.
All right. And how many siblings do you have, by the way?
I have one still left. Yeah.
Gordon?
God almighty.
Gordon.
Man.
He's in assisted living, but.
Gordon?
Oh,
Look at her.
When you see a
Is she
blinking
crying
light,
or
just
laughing?
eject.
Very hard to tell.
She says both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both.
Give her a hug, Gordo. Give her a nice
I'm not
hug.
going to force a hug on her, Giorgio.
Well, I think she
That's
needs
your
one.
whole deal.
Yeah, these are new times.
Yeah, George, he needs to update. Anyway, well, God bless you, and thank you for being out here.
Thank you.
Don't thank him.
Oh, my goodness. All right. What's your name, sir?
Sean.
What?
Sean.
Sean. And who'd you come out here to see?
All of y'all, but mostly you.
Oh, well, thank you. And Sean, what's your story? What do you do for a living?
What do you think?
What?
What do you think?
Well, I'm supposed to guess.
Let me guess. Something generic.
Yeah, I think he's our guy who works in generic IT.
Actually, a doctor. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
It's not so generic.
What kind of doctoring do you do?
Family medicine.
Family medicine. So is that like family planning?
Sometimes, you know.
Or is that GP stuff?
GP.
Okay. You know what GP stands for, George?
General practitioner.
Very good.
Yeah.
And how long you been a GP?
Well, I'm still in residency, so technically still in training.
Okay. How long does it take to become a doctor these days?
So medical school 4 years, residency 3 years for family medicine. Then you can do fellowship after, so it could be another year or so.
That's
Way
why
too
we
long.
bailed.
We need to
Way
make
too much-
doctors faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to get. There's got to be some kind of summer program.
They ought to be able to get it after about 3 years.
Have you ever lanced anything?
On accident, maybe, but
Well, I don't know about that. I meant like lance to boil, anything like that. Someone come in with a pollinatal cyst or something.
yeah, unfortunately, a lot of anal verge cysts, that type of thing.
Oh, gosh, man. You
A
always
lot
go,
of them.
Always go a question
Huh.
too
The
far.
Did you?
I wanted to run by you.
Did what?
So we have didactics or lectures every Thursday afternoon, and I know you like typewriters, and I was like wondering, do you think I should bring a typewriter to the lecture and just start clocking on it like I'm Newsy?
Yeah, take notes with a typewriter. There's a video of some guy going around on the internet, and he's in a college classroom, and he's taking notes on a typewriter, and it's disturbing everyone.
Slam it as hard as I can to the left, you know.
Get one with the loudest bell possible when you reach the end of the line. I think that'd be great. You want to give a shout out to a loved one? Are you in a relationship right now?
No, thanks.
Way to go, Gordon.
Way to go.
Well, it's not my fault that he's unlovable. He just is.
It's all right.
Did you just get out of a relationship recently?
Nah, it's been a little.
Way to go, Gordon.
Like how long?
3 years.
3 years?
Yeah.
He doesn't have
Well-
time. He's doing a lot of studying.
Well, you look young. How old are you?
31.
31. And what happened with that relationship? Was it just kind of run its course?
Ran its course. You know, we're in a changing time and decided to go separate ways.
It's amazing to watch Gordon go fishing.
Yeah. Hey, I know I just met you, but we play something
guys-
really sad from your life. Just this is a little play
you guys
for me.
still
yeah.
are friendly.
Yeah. But listening to y'all,
You didn't get the answer
listening
you
to y'all
wanted.
gets-
Not true. I like uplifting stories. Tell us an uplifting story.
I don't know if there's much uplifting recently.
Way to go, Gordon.
My fault.
My sister's pregnant. How about that?
Oh, that's
Okay.
good. That's
Okay.
good.
I'll be an uncle soon.
Oh, that's good. So, do you know the guy that she got pregnant with?
Unfortunately.
Oh, no.
Sounds like there's a.
He doesn't approve.
You don't like him too much?
No, I'm just kidding. He's a good guy.
Oh, okay. All right. See there, it all ends well.
Yay.
Yeah. This is their first baby?
Yeah.
Okay. And how far along is she?
7 months now. Yeah.
Pretty good. Is this your dad?
Yeah.
So this is the granddad of the soon-to-be baby.
Yeah.
It'll be your first grandchild?
It'll be a boy November 7th.
Oh, congratulations. Has she already picked out the name? Is she going to name him after you?
No, I don't think so. James, I think, is the name.
That's a good, strong name.
Yeah.
That name's almost biblical to me.
Yeah, it should be. I think.
And what was it like raising Sean over here?
He's pretty quiet. His daughter's, my daughter's a little different. They're both 180 out. She's real
outgoing, and he's real kind of like he's writing a manifesto in his room.
Yeah, up in the mountains in a cabin all by himself. Yeah.
Right. Are you proud of him for becoming a doctor?
Oh yeah, I'm proud of both my kids. He's
And all
a
the
doctor.
anal work that he's doing with the fissures and the boils.
Oh, somebody's got to do it, you know. So.
High sign.
And my daughter's a pilot in the Air Force. I'm proud of both of them.
Oh wow, pilot in the Air Force. That's really cool. Well, thank you guys for being out here. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.
Yay!
Yay, we're all
out and
best
about.
friends now.
It all ended well.
Yay.
All right.
Big old bear by buying him an old Jerry Rice jersey from the pop-up Creekside 49er Pro Shop. But he put it on and it didn't fit. So he ran up on two legs and roared George Seifert middle name at me. So I took that as my cue to run as fast as I could into a thicket filled with honey badgers and old playboys to wait for the apocalypse or the bear to leave, whichever come first.
Yeah, whichever one.
But the bear, he had brought siege provisions. And he pulled up a cooler and just sat down and popped open a cold one.
Oh,
He's going to
man.
wait you out.
Then he got on his bullhorn and demanded I come out. But I pretended I had pieces of Joe Montana jersey stuffed in my ears so I couldn't hear him.
Very specific.
But he waited until I had to leave to go put more money in the parking meter so they don't tow my Avalon. So he see his opportunity to jump on me and break my human back.
Oh, no.
Man.
But I didn't mind it, because I took one for the team, because I'm the crazy prospect and I love the 49er.
Well, what do you think? Are you a little more worried about the Cowboys this week? You think they're better than they have been the last couple of years?
One time, at Merton Hank's 45th birthday party, I was panning for the good AU in the koi pond outside Jeff Garcia's house.
Wow.
And all of a sudden, I hear something behind me that sounds really big.
Well, it's got to be the big old bear.
No, Dana Stubblefield.
Well, you're in with all the 49ers.
But he was dressed up as the big old bear.
Yeah.
So I could see immediately that what he wanted was in my pan.
Oh, the good gold.
No, some honey buttered biscuits that I'd made in a Dutch oven for a very reasonable price.
Wow.
But I'd hidden the gold inside the biscuits to protect him from a marauding Bill Walsh.
Ah.
So I take the plural biscuit and I begin running to the nearest donkey to make a getaway. But the nearest donkey was 3 miles away, past car dealerships with the keys inside all the cars. But I finally get to the donkey just as the bear dressed as Dana Stubblefield
dressed as the bear take a swipe at me and rip my Taylor Swift concert tee.
Oh, no.
Gosh.
But then I lead the donkey successfully onto a cruise ship bound for Iceland, where bears don't like because the signs are in weird language. But Dana had anticipated the move, and he had pre-made a powerboat out of hickory limbs and purple twine.
Wow.
And he chased me down. He chased the cruise ship down so that he could poison the donkey so I couldn't get away.
So elaborate.
So I had to jump off the boat on the dead donkey and swim for San Francisco. And guess who unfortunately meet me on the shore?
That's got to be the bear.
The ghost of Bill Walsh!
Oh, we should have guessed.
So he steal my AU biscuit. And that prompted Dana Stubblefield to unzip his bear costume to reveal Dana Stubblefield, who then unzipped his Dana Stubblefield to reveal the big old bear. And then the bear costume unzip again. And guess who was in it?
Who?
The real big old bear. So it was a Russian nesting doll, a big old bear, and Dana Stubblefield, a big old bear, Dana Stubblefield, big old bear.
Hard to keep up
Big old
with.
bear again, like 3-4 level deep.
Amazing.
But I didn't mind because I'm the crazy prospect and I love the
He
49er.
loves the 49er.
Well, do you want to make a prediction for us about Sunday's game?
One time at band camp, I stuck a flute up my
Hey!
butt.
Oh, man.
Because I'm the crazy prospect.
Oh, bye-bye.
I'm the 49er.
There he goes. We didn't even get a prediction.
No.
Why
I think
can't
he feels confident.
Why can't he say biscuits?
I don't know. Games where they have just routed their opponent. I can't remember the last time they've done that.
No, and we are basically at the quarter pole of the season. Hard to do now that we have 17 games. But when you are blowing out your opponent in 75% of your games and you get to 25% of the way through the season, you keep up that pace, you're going to have a really good year.
Yep.
You're going to have a massive point differential, and things are probably going to go your way long term. The devil's advocate would say that they have played 3 bad quarterbacks, although we're going to get to Zach Wilson's night here in 15 minutes. He wasn't too bad last night.
No.
But that they've played 3 bad quarterbacks or 3 bad offenses, and the defense can overwhelm those bad quarterbacks, and they'll see a really good offense on Sunday night against San Francisco. But I don't really look at it that way. I think this is
Not in this league.
the NFL, and
Yeah.
we saw what everybody thought was a bad quarterback last week beat Dallas. So you never know. They got really good news to start things off, though, in that of those 3 offensive linemen, only Tyron Smith would miss the game yesterday. Martin and Biotish were back. That certainly helped.
Yeah, I think doesn't this highlight that their best player plays right guard?
No doubt.
I just think they're a different team when they
Offensively.
have Zach. Yeah, when they
Parsons will be their best player, I think.
Yeah, maybe.
It's close.
But, boy, you talk about consistency and just what he means to this, to both, protecting Dak and then the running game. They're just a different team when they have Zach Martin.
Yep. And it showed, and the offense looked better. The defense looked better. It was Jekyll and Hyde from how those 2 units looked against Arizona. And it probably does start there with the offense. It was pretty, even though they put 38 points on the board and a couple of those were defensive touchdowns, it was a pretty mundane day for the offense. It wasn't bad by any stretch, although they failed again in the red zone until the Lipke touchdown in the 4th quarter. But we just got to get used to this. It's just a lot of short, kind of boring, which is the West Coast offense, can be highly successful, can be very effective in taking time off the clock. You know, they lead the NFL in long drives, and that's not a bad thing.
No. It's complementary football. That's what McCarthy wants to do, and it's a very workable formula. And if your defense is scoring touchdowns, I can understand why you don't want to be just exotic offensively.
Right.
Just take care of what's in front of you and run the ball. And, I wonder You know, I mentioned this comment earlier when Greg Olson said, you know, really put pressure on New England, get 30 points. The defense certainly helped them do that. Boy, shouldn't that be the goal every week for this team? Get the 30 points?
They have enough weaponry to do that.
Yeah,
Yes.
they should be able to do that against a lot of teams. Now, this week is a taller order when you're taking on San Francisco, but yeah, I think this team offensively, and again, yesterday they were helped out by the defense, but they should be able to do that.
The true test for the offense will be, like last week, when they're not playing with a big lead. When they're down, and they may be down Sunday night against San Francisco, how does the offense respond there? So far, the only time we've seen that, they didn't respond well. I think it's going to be obviously a really tough game on Sunday night, and they'll have some more tough ones down the road. But it's easy for the offense to be efficient and to move the sticks when they are playing with a 3-touchdown lead as they have in 3 of these 4 games.
Yeah.
I did think it was going to be an interesting game, though. Not only Friday when we were making our picks, we picked Dallas, but thought it'd be a close game. But I thought it would be a close game after New England marched down the field with their first possession, settled for 3 like Dallas did. But each team moved the ball, and it was 3-3. And I thought, okay, this is going to be the game that we thought it was going to be. And then you look up, and it's 28-3 at the half.
Yeah, and boy, that game just had to drive Belichick crazy with the turnovers and the play that they have had offensively since the man left.
Yeah.
They have just not been good offensively, and they seem to be getting worse.
Mac Jones seems to be regressing. He does not have a lot of weapons around him, but he throws a lot of interceptions.
Yeah.
And he throws a lot of bad passes. And I don't know that he's their quarterback of the future.
That is now just 55 points for them in 4 games. And that's the first time that's happened since Belichick's first year. They're having a lot of first time since Belichick got their moments. And, yeah, they're just a whole team. And we brought this scenario up before the season started. Is the greatest coach of our lifetime in trouble if they win like 6 games? Is Kraft going to say, you know what, we had a great run, let's do something else?
Despite the fact that was his worst loss as a head coach yesterday, they lost by 35. He's never lost by 35 before. And the possibility of them winning 6 games this season, I would say no. I don't think there's any way they fire Bill Belichick. He leaves when he wants to leave. There's no way they fire him.
But there does seem to be some friction between those two, and I just wonder if Kraft, kind of like Jimmy and Jerry had their breakup, I wonder if maybe they will break up after this year. I think it'd be insane. I would not fire the guy. I don't think he's lost it or anything. He does have some questions to answer, I think, on the offensive side of the ball. Some of that is his fault with who they've drafted and who he's put as his offensive coordinator. But, yeah, I wonder if it may come to a head after this season.
Your point about the friction between the two does have merit. That could play into it, but I can't imagine Kraft having to make that announcement that he's fired Bill Belichick.
How would that go over up there?
I don't see that. And he's good enough. He'll probably keep them competitive enough to where it's not an issue.
Do they have, among Patriots fans, is it growing noise that the old man's lost it?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I don't either. We know how it goes in this league. If you start losing and you're not going to Super Bowls anymore, this town turned on Tom Landry.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was good to see the defense come to life again after a weird game. I heard Van Der Esch on one of the cuts Ryan was playing talking about how last week nobody did their job, and they got back to doing their job. It is weird, and it may have been the pall cast over the team by Diggs getting hurt. It may have just been a weird set of circumstances against an Arizona team that had a really good plan against Dallas. But it's weird that team, maybe it was eating the cheese, as we talked about, that they went a week where they just didn't do their job.
Right. And I know we look at it as a Cowboy thing. They can't stay in prosperity, and they, it's hard to be consistent. I really do think that is this league as we're about to, go around the NFL. There's so much that changes from week to week. Just as you start, you think you got a feel for a team, they'll go belly up the next Sunday.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And the defense certainly set the tone yesterday. The 2 touchdowns, the one by Van Der Esch on the fumble recovery, great play by Fowler there. And then the Bland pick 6, his second of the season. He gets another pick later in the game. That's great to see him after not playing well against Arizona kind of look like the Deron Bland that we've seen for a couple of years.
Yeah, he's been terrific these last couple of years. He really has. And he's that type of player that Diggs was. Some say, you may take too many chances, but I like that in a corner that just has a good feel for it and make a play and turn it into a big play.
It's going to continue to be a topic. They didn't play well in the red zone again. The worst moment was on 3rd and goal when Dak and Pollard ran into each other. Looked very Keystone Cops. And they have to settle for 3. And they kept having to settle for 3. Again, it didn't matter. It was 38-3. But it is going to matter, probably against the 49ers and against some of these better teams. And if they're a playoff team, it is going to matter in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's still an issue. They did score when Lipke scored in the 4th quarter, but we're going to hear about it again all week, the red zone issues.
McCarthy mentioned last week that it's something that, as he called it, the blinking light. I think it's still blinking. Even though you blew out the Patriots yesterday, couldn't you almost see the frustration in the Cowboys?
Yeah.
God, we got to kick another field goal?
Mm-hmm.
And we're, point-blank range, and we still get that thing in there.
Something noticeable about the offense, and we talked about McCarthy last week saying that he ran too much on 1st and 2nd down against Arizona. Well, did you notice how much they threw it on 1st and 2nd down yesterday, especially early in the game?
Yeah. And I think that's this league. That's the trend in this league. If you're just a running team on 1st and 2nd down, that is pretty predictable.